Hello everyone, again welcome back to Unfinished Curious Minds. Today we are going to explore one of the most important topics in biological anthropology and human evolution, which is anthropoids. Anthropoids. Who are anthropoids? Why are they important? How are they different from other primates? And what do they tell us about human evolution? I hope by the end of this video, you will have a clear understanding of anthropoids and their characteristics, classification, evolution, and significance in anthropology. So, let's begin. What is anthropoids? An anthropoid is something that resembles or is closely related to humans. Imagine that millions of years ago, a great family reunion was organized in a forest. The first guests to arrive were the lemurs of Madagascar. They came, then came lorises from Asia. Soon after, tarsiers arrived with their large eyes adapted for night vision. Finally, monkeys, apes, and humans arrived. Scientists noticed uh, something interesting. The monkeys, apes, and humans seem to have many things in common. They had large brain, relied more on vision than smell, lived in complex social groups, and showed remarkable intelligence. Because of these similarities, scientists place them in one special group, which is known as anthropoids. So, in the definition, as we just read, uh, an anthropoid is something that resembles or is very closely related to humans. In the term anthropoid comes from the Greek word. Two Greek word anthropoids that means human and anthropos. If we break down the word in anthropoids, there are two words which is anthro, anthropos. The meaning of the term anthropos means human and idios or eidos means form or resembles. Therefore, anthropoid are literally means human like primate. Anthropoids are higher primates because they include monkeys, apes, humans. Two types of monkeys like Old World and New World both comes under the category. To understand anthropoids even better, we need to place them in the biological classification system. Animalia, chordata, mammalia, primates, then comes Haplorhini, and under that comes Anthropoidea. Now, this means that anthropoids belong to the primate order but form a special subgroup within the suborder which is Haplorhini. Okay? Humans, therefore, are not only mammals and primates, we also are anthropoids. If we look the evolutionary history, uh, the story of anthropoids usually began approximately around 45 to 40 million years ago during the Eocene epoch. At that time, Earth was covered with dense forest. Small primates were adapting to life in trees, and over the years, gradually, primates developed larger brain relative to uh, body size, forward facing eyes with good depth of perception, better vision, more complex behavior, uh, more complex social behavior, greater reliance on vision than smell. Therefore, these adaptations gives them rise to the earliest anthropoids. Some of the important fossils of the anthropoids include uh, Eosimus, Parapithecus, Egyptopithecus, and many more. These fossils actually helped scientists to understand how monkey, apes, and humans evolved. What makes anthropoids special? Let's understand by taking one of the uh, characteristics of anthropoids. A larger brain. A larger brain basically helps in better learning, in the memory, problem solving, and social interaction. For example, chimpanzees can use tool to obtain food, while humans have developed science, technology, and culture. Now, what does the forward-facing eye does? Anthropoid possess forward-facing eyes that provide them binocular vision and stereoscopic vision. This actually helps them to judge the distance, accurately. Imagine a monkey jumping from one tree branch to another without accurate depth perception. Such movement would be very extremely difficult to them. Also, reduced reliance on smell. What does it mean? Many primates depend heavily on their sense of smell, as like, for example, dogs. Though they are not belong to the order primate, but they also rely heavily, uh, depend on their sense of smell. However, anthropoids rely more on vision. This shift allowed them to communicate using facial expression, gestures, and visual signals. Even humans communicate emotion through facial expression every day. There is another characteristics which is very important when we talk about anthropoids, that is color vision. Most anthropoids possess excellent color vision. This is basically nothing but adaptation which actually help them identify ripe fruits, young leaves, flowers. Better color vision actually increase their chance of finding nutritious food in forest environments, and they also possess complex social life as like modern human sapiens. Modern humans, Homo sapiens. Social behavior means anthropoids are highly social animals, like gorillas living in a family group, bonobos living in a large troops, orangutans learning through observation, and talking about humans forming village, cities, and civilization. Basically, complex social relationships are one of the defining characteristics of anthropoids. Uh, so quickly, we will be understanding by this chart. So Ria is somebody who is studying these anthropoids. She actually went to a forest where she observes uh, anthropoids like this lemur. Over there, she found out that lemurs heavily depend on smell, has a very smaller brain, live mostly at night. That means lemurs are nocturnal creatures. This is the momo. The monkey has better color vision, uses hands very skillfully, and lives in a complex social group. Talking about Appu. Appu is the chimpanzee. Now, these chimpanzee uses tools, learns from others, and has a very large brain in comparison to this lemur, lolo, and momo. Okay. Then there is another thing which is his face, very expressive in nature. Ria noticed that Momo, that means the monkey and Appu, and they share many features in common, like forward-facing eyes, better vision, large brains, and complex social life. So she placed them in the one group, which is anthropoids. Okay, what is now anthropoids? Quickly, we will recall the definition of the anthropoids. Anthropoids are higher primates that includes monkey, apes, and humans. They are very similar in nature. Like if we recall the characteristics one by one, larger brains, forward-facing eyes, better color vision, complex social behavior, and greater reliance on what? Smell and vision. Now, quickly we will see this with this primate family tree. Consider it as consider this primate tree as our family tree. Okay, this primate is the big family. Under this, there are three subtypes. Firstly, Strepsirrhini. Consider them as a distinct cousins. In this category, the lemurs and lorises comes. So if we again try to recall the story of the Ria, who actually went to a forest and studying the anthropoids, uh, in that she observed lemurs, which is the Lolo lemur. Um, there are some characteristics made by her. What are those? Like they more rely on smell, smaller brain, and they are mostly nocturnal. Okay, lorises are in comparison to the lemur, uh, are very reliant on smell, smaller brain, and mostly nocturnal. Now we will see another subtype, which is tarsiforms, who we can say are the cousins of the Strepsirrhini. Tarsiers are better vision than lemurs, but still they consider more primitive. However, talking about the anthropoids or the city cousins, that means who are more similar to us, New World monkey, Old World monkey, and apes and humans. So monkeys, apes, and humans all comes under the category anthropoids. We share similar and more advanced features. Okay. Now we will understand anthropoids and uh, prosimians. There are little difference between anthropoids and prosimians. Okay. Let's compare anthropoids with more primitive primates. Anthropoids generally have larger brains, better vision, more complex social systems, greater intelligence, reduced dependence on smell. Whereas talking about the prosimians, such as lemurs or lorises, they retain more to primitive characteristics. These compares helps us understand why anthropoids are often called as higher primate than others. Examples of anthropoids: New World monkey such as spider monkey, Old World monkey, rhesus macaque, apes such as gorilla, chimpanzees, orangutans, and humans, Homo sapiens. Now, uh, there is some importance of anthropoids. Why we study anthropoids in anthropology? By understanding anthropoids, scientists can understand human evolution, or anthropologists can understand human evolution even better, compare human and apes behavior, reconstruct evolutionary history to fossils, learn about the origins of intelligence and social behavior. Fossils such as Parapithecus, Egyptopithecus, Proinsul also helps us trace this remarkable evolutionary journey. Okay, in a conclusion, we can definitely say that anthropoids are higher primates than uh, includes monkeys, apes, and humans. They also evolved approximately 40 to 45 million years ago and are characterized by large brains, forward-facing eyes, advanced visions, and complex social behavior, greater intelligence. The study of anthropoids is obviously essential because it helps us understand not only the evolution of primates but also our evolutionary origins in many ways. The story of anthropoids is also the story of humanity itself. Thank you for watching. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to Unfinished Curious Minds for more anthropology and human evolution related content. See you in the next video. Thank you.